All right, everybody. Excited to be here tonight. It is 5 minutes till 7 o'clock. Nice spring day here. It's been beautiful outside. And right now it's dark time, but figured I wanted to do a brand new stream for you guys because I'm excited about this product. I've been using this product for a few years now with all my courses, and it's called neck diagrams. Well, just today or yesterday actually. Hold on, excuse me. I've got. It is 5 minutes till 7 o'clock. Give me just a second. Nice spring day here. It's been beautiful outside, and right now it's. Let me figure out where that's coming from. Oh, I think I know where it's coming from actually. Glad to see that it's doing all right. Give me a second here. I'm still hearing it. Sorry about that. Got to make sure this is all right. I still hear it somewhere. I think I just fixed it. I'm still hearing it. Okay, there's no telling where that's coming from, so just bear with me here. Okay, this still hear myself. So, hopefully this will be all right. Take care of itself. Not sure if it will or not. I've got two people watching, so please just bear with me here now. That's probably just me. Actually, I've got it open on two different places. Usually I can see on my website or my web browser exactly where the audio is coming from, but I am not sure. Let's see if there's a way to mute all this. Mute all tabs. That'll kind of fix all that. Just a second. Maybe I can do this. Oh, I don't see a mute thing option here. Oh, I may know where it's coming from. Let's check it out here. Shouldn't be, but could be Twitch. I don't think I'm streaming to Twitch, so it shouldn't be doing that. Go ahead and mute that just in case. Not seeing it anywhere else. Such is the virtues of streaming. This always happens. Something is always happening when you want to go live streaming. So that's just how it works with me anyway. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm going to have to mute my own self. It is muted on the desktop audio, so you shouldn't be hearing this. I shouldn't be hearing it either, so I don't know what's going on. Appreciate everybody that's just tuned in. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. So let me just go ahead and get on here before I forget. Come on. Pop up for me. Pop up. There I am. Okay. It's me. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I don't know what is going on. I'm going to have to mute my own headphone stuff, I guess. Yep. I don't know where that's coming from. But anyway, you guys can hear it, and I've just turned myself down, so I can't hear it either. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay. I shouldn't be able to hear that at all. All right, so here we are. We are demoing the new version of neck diagrams today. And I know what it is. I think I know what it might be. Give me just a second. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I don't think my exterior speakers are on. But just in case, Now we don't have to worry about it. That's a little bit behind. There's a little bit of a lag delay here, but hopefully the stream is, pretty smooth for you guys. Please, if you have any comments or questions about the software, please leave it in the chat window below. I will be peeking at that from time to time. And give me just a second here. Make sure. Yeah, there's still something going on. I don't know what is going on, but anyway. One last thing I think I'll do, and that is I'm going to reload this page because it could be that. I'm reloading the page I'm on, so let me go ahead and show you guys here what is going on so you can at least follow along with me. I believe it's that button. Yes, it is that button. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just reloading this page to see if that takes care of the problem. Don't think it's the studio. I don't understand why I'm hearing this. See, if I unmute this, you can hear it. Don't think it's the studio. Still something going on there. But I just reloaded it, so there's no reason I should be hearing my own voice. Like I said, such is live streaming. So, I don't want to lose any of my viewers, so I apologize for all this technical difficulties. So I'm just going to turn myself down and just continue on and go ahead and go with this. We're going to open up Neck Diagrams 2. First of all, they just released this basically today. It was due to release March the 14th, but the company released it today, and they were having a few issues with the licensing not going through, but on my end it's totally fixed, so I'm guessing everything's okay on that end. And so hopefully you guys won't have any problems installing it either. You've probably heard about this software all over the place if you're a guitarist. And this is amazing software that you can use to create diagrams for your own course, for your students. I've used them for my students before. You can use it for, I don't know, just anything you can think of. Lately I've been working on tabs, but I can also use these to sell diagrams with those tabs, if ever I need that. They're really good for scale visualization, arpeggio visualization, chord visualization. All those kind of things are really good for that. So let's get right on into this. I'm just going to ignore any of the problems we have. It says the video output is low, but hopefully everything's going to be all right. Let me go back to, let's go ahead and get on into what Neck Diagrams is, and then I'll be opening it up and showing you the cool stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch to my other page here and change the website because I've recently added a link to my own website. It's not affiliated or anything like that, at least not now. They haven't had an affiliate program as far as I've known for a long time. But that is the website where you can go get it. You should be able to see that on the bottom of the screen, hopefully. All right, so here's the website, ericbailey.com/neckdiagrams. You can check it out there. And here's what you'll see. I don't know what that sound was. Here's what you'll see when you get on the website, okay? And I think this may be changing because you'll see in just a little bit how different this looks on some other pages because of the revamping of their brand and everything. Okay, so this is creating fretboards just got easy. This may change when you view this. They have a free demo down here. They've got a tour you can look at, and they got testimonials. And you can see the intro video, and this is just a little slider that you can kind of go through and see what this is for. You've got screenshots that they have available, video tutorials via screencast. You can download if you want to download a free demo. They've got a free, I think, 30-day trial that you can download for that and check it out. Or you can buy it. They have a help section, a forum section, and a blog, which hasn't been updated in a while. Mostly, if you want to keep up to date with them, you can go check out their neck diagrams Facebook page, and that's mostly where they keep everything up to date. Okay, so here's what happens. Let's go to the buy page. All right, so I can kind of show you what's going on. Actually, let's go to both of these. The download page, it'll show you when I click download here. Okay, so you can download your free demo. This is what the new, branding looks like. It's very nice. Here's information about the demo here. And it will automatically kind of guess what your system is. It knows my system's a Mac, so I can download this. Or if you're on a Windows, you can download it here. All right. So they've just got some installation notes from the Mac and things like that. If you go on Windows, it has some different things like that. If you want to see as well, there's a little view of their Facebook page, so you can actually click on that, and the 4 hours ago, or click on the Facebook icon, and you can see, or just the name here, and you can see their Facebook page. That's the easiest way to get to it. You can also sign up for their newsletter if you want to. They hardly ever email me. This is only basically for like newsletter updates and anything, any kind of bugs or anything like that to watch out for whenever there's new releases and different things like that, and how to update your software. It's a little different process than just clicking on install update. And you can see the version history up here on the download. But if you click buy, here's what will happen. It will allow you to use one of two options here. And this is, I think, the page it'll take you to whenever you decide to buy from the demo software. You can tell it, I'm upgrading from Neck Diagrams 1, and to do this, you need to have a prior license from Neck Diagrams 1 to make this work. So you can tell I'm upgrading from Neck Diagrams 1, or I'm a new Neck Diagrams 2 customer if you've never had Neck Diagrams 1 at all. Now, it's not the option to download Neck Diagrams 1 is no longer available because they're going forward with Neck Diagrams 2. So that's why it has this wording here. Okay. So when I click either one of these, here are the two pages it will take me to. Now, I've already got these preloaded. Neck Diagrams 2. Let's see. This is the buy page. Okay. Choose your edition. Now, here's what I was talking about, the branding, or the look of the website changing. So I'm guessing they're going to try to make it kind of stand out like this. Now, please ignore the spelling. I just now noticed this, Neck Diagrams. That is, they have been working really hard to get this out. And this is what it looks like. So they've got a lot of stuff on their plate. They've been really biting at the bullet to try to get this out on time. There's tons of features. There's a one-time payment, yours forever. No subscription. Okay, people? That's awesome. No subscription to this. Okay, so you have 3 separate packages here. You can do the standard. You can play it, and you can diagram it. Of course, that says it on all these. The standard, the pro, and the publisher. Okay, and so let's compare here. The standard provides the core editing features and is ideal for hobbyists. If you just want to make your own diagrams, it's a hobby, you can download it, buy it for $25. The Pro includes additional time-saving tools, and it's ideal for teachers. Okay, I opted for the publisher, but I upgraded, so I got a pretty good discount on it, and there was a pre-order, so I jumped in on that. This has advanced export features for those writing courses, videos, books, etc., just like I do. Okay, so you can see here what's included. You have all the fretboard editing features, including the new capo, interval, color schemes, things like that. Multi-page document editing, instruments and tunings library, sound playback. They now offer that you can hear your diagrams, which is amazing. Printing and licensing for both Mac and Windows. Okay, so we'll move on over to the Pro version. You have everything from the standard edition, plus you get a scale generator. That's really handy. a transpose tool, which easily moves notes across the fretboard, copy and paste fretboards to other applications like Word or whatever. It's a lot easier than having to screenshot and move them in and everything like that. And you can export to various formats. Now, with the standard feature, you can only print. But if you want to share some of your diagrams and things like that, you can export to the PDF, PNG, JPEG, SVG, EPS, and TIFF formats with the Pro version. I recommend, if you're serious at all about neck diagrams, definitely get the Pro version. Now, once again, this is if you're a brand new customer to neck diagrams, not if you're upgrading. I'll show you the upgrading pricing here in just a minute. With the Publisher Edition, the one I opted for, you get everything included in both these versions, okay? Plus, you get to export at your size and control the DPI, or the resolution, basically, of your neck diagrams. You can export with transparency so that you can have a transparent background. That is amazing. So there's no white background or any other background. You can just export it to where there's nothing behind it. That's really, really good. You can export selected objects, so you can export selected parts of the diagrams or just only a few diagrams instead of, the whole page. Now, that's handy because sometimes, like if you're making a video and you want to have like a chord appear at a different time and a different interval, you can just select to export all of these chords as separate chords instead of exporting the whole page, chopping it into individual chords and things like that. This is a really good feature that they've opted for this version. You can watermark your exported files so that you can have your own branding on there. You don't have to worry about piracy or anything. And you get priority support. So with Publisher option, I have priority support, so that means that I'm first in line for any issues with neck diagrams, okay? So let's go to the next one. If you go to the upgrading, here's what you're going to get, okay? So choose your upgrade to neck diagrams. Same thing, but now the upgrade pricing is dramatically different. Now, if you did this when it was pre-ordered, I got $15 knocked off this, so I only paid $50 for the upgrade. It's just totally worth it to me for what all I can do with it. I don't know what the upgrade pricing was for the rest of them, but that's what it was for me, and I got in early on that. But okay, so the same deal. Once you order these, it will take you to the page on telling you how to install it and everything. So here's some frequently asked questions. How do I qualify for upgrade pricing? Okay. What OSs will neck diagrams 2 run on? What happens to the files I already created with neck diagrams? Now that's a good thing. Is the fact is they run separately. So if you'll notice, let's go to my main screen here so you can see. If you'll notice down here, this is the neck diagrams 1. Okay, this is neck diagrams 2. So they run separately. All right. So let's go back to the previous screen here. The files you created with regular neck diagrams, the first one, they will copy over. Okay, so that's really cool that they allowed that to copy over. It does it for you, no problem. I just did it, and there was only one file that it didn't recognize, and I hopped over to Gmail and emailed customer service, and they sent me a message back like almost immediately, so they're on top of it. And once again, though, with the publisher option, I get priority support, so that's really handy. I just bought neck diagrams recently. Will I have to buy it again? Okay, so there's another question there. What type of support do I get? All licenses include email support and access to our user forums. Queries from publisher customers are prioritized first. Okay, so that's priority support. Refund policy, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, check this out. You can demo it for 30 days. Then you can buy it for another 30 days and get your money back if you don't like it. You get 60 days, basically, with nothing to lose with this program. And I guarantee if you try it, you will love it, okay? You will love it. You will use it all the time. And you just need to be diligent about it. Don't just download it and not use it for days. Really work at it. And we'll go into the interface here in just a little bit. All right, so they also have this on a backup DVD option if you want to. I noticed that down here. So let's see here. Any questions, you can message them at supportneckdiagrams.com, okay? So that's the 2 pages. If you want to see the FAQs, once again, all you have to do is go to the main page and go to the buy option and click one of these, and it will take you to those 2 pages I just showed you, okay? So before I get into what the software does. I only opened this thing like once, and that was to make sure everything imported and to install it and unlock the license and all that stuff. I haven't even messed with it. So before I get into that, let's look at what is available in Neck Diagrams 2. This is a really cool feature as well. So these links aren't live. This one here especially is not live just yet. But this came in an email, which, like I said, if you're a subscriber of their newsletter, which you can find by going to their website and just basically clicking on just about any link, and there'll be a sidebar where you can subscribe to their email newsletter. This came to me in the newsletter, and I was one of the first to know about what's happening in Neck Diagrams 2. So this is really cool. So Neck Diagrams 2 is almost here. Here are some of the top features waiting for you. All right. So you've got an improved user interface. Okay, if I click that, it should show a full-length image of that. I think it's loading right now, so give it just a second. I got to make a note here to have them fix the spelling on their website. Page you're looking for isn't here. Okay, so let's go back. That's because probably they just didn't link it up to the actual image. Okay, so that's all right. We don't have to see the the big view of it or anything. It's loading, so give it just a second. Anyway, if you're familiar at all with what Neck Diagrams used to look like, then you know that this is a big, massive upgrade. Okay, so for an example, I'll just give you an example real quick before we go into that. I'll show you some, I think, screenshots. Yeah, some screenshots of what the old version looked like, and it's perfect. I mean, it was usable. There was nothing really wrong with it. But when you see the upgrades, you're like, wow, this is like a game changer, massively changed here. Okay, so if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the chat window. I'm watching that, making sure it's all working and everything. I'm still hearing some audio. I don't know where that's coming from, but oh well. Okay, so if you look over here, features and screenshots. Okay, so let's chord boxes, fretboard diagrams, diagram gallery, instrument, the wizards like scale generators, and you can share your files with other people. Like I said, there's a new file management, or I was about to say that. We'll get back to that here in a minute. So let's go to a couple of these. Okay, so chord boxes. Here's what this looks like. Okay, you can create chord boxes. You can also create fretboard diagrams, some different diagrams. Okay, so you can actually put them vertically or horizontally, and do what you want to. And the colors and a lot of the features were already customizable. You can see the little inspector view right here. You could change the fretboard color. You could change the fret wire color. You could change the note color. There's another section where you can change the root, which in this case is A. For this chord, I mean this box is A, but this color is red, and you can change the backgrounds and all this other stuff. Okay, so if we scroll a little bit more through this, that's what their old interface looked like, with basically the hub of where all your diagrams are saved. Which instruments you could use, and they've added a bunch of these since on version 1. This is a scale generator wizard, which basically you click a few features and it automatically populates the entire fretboard with the correct scale notes. Amazing right there. Especially now that you can listen to your scales, your diagrams audibly. And here's the file management, how you can change, export into PDF and different things like that. I think that's all those, yeah. So that's what it looked like. Now, if we go back to where we were, what's different? You can notice there's a difference here, okay? So some of this stuff is the same, but look at all the different features here that you can actually do. I don't think I can zoom in too much with that. Okay, so I don't know if that changes on your end or not, but you got a totally different interface. There's a lot more options over here, okay? Let me zoom back out. I accidentally right-click that. Close that out. All right. So what we have now is we have an improved user interface. Okay, so the user interface has a fresh lick of paint. Okay, So all the icons have been redesigned. Everything is now crystal clear on ultra high resolution Retina 4K or 5K screens. The inspector, which is this thing right here, it has been redesigned as well and now docked to the right hand side of the editor window. Well, that's where I think where I always had it anyway. So it's docked to the right side of the window. You have a completely new file handling options here. I'm just going to open that in a different tab just in case to see if the picture will work there. We'll check that in a minute. You're now in control where your files are kept. Okay, so we completely rewritten file management to put you in charge. Choose which folders the diagram gallery displays, whether it's on your local disk, network, or Dropbox, iCloud, or Google Drive. And it stays in sync with the changes made outside of Neck Diagram. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to check that out myself. That is very interesting right there. Multi-page documents. This is really handy. You want to create documents that are more than just a single page. Now you can with just like PowerPoint or Keynote. So that's really cool. If you want to do like a demonstration or create a book. Okay, that's key. The outline view shows thumbnails, which you can see right here, kind of like on Mac, the preview editor. If you show the thumbnails, it shows thumbnails of all your pages, and you can zoom out of the editor to see pages side by side. Okay. You can now hear your diagrams. We've added the ability to play notes on the fretboards. Just click the toolbar, play buttons, or fretboard right-click menu. Okay, so you can have a context menu there. You can play back all the notes on the fretboard together as a chord, or choose to play the notes sequentially as an arpeggio or scale, with lots of options in the preferences settings. Rich text editing. So now you have full rich text editing coming to Neck Diagrams. Text boxes. Now, just before I go any further, it was very primitive what you were able to do with editing your text and things like that. Usually, I would have to take the diagrams and put them in like Google Docs or something like that where I could actually enhance the text. But now you can do this all in one program. You don't have to find a different program, export your Neck Diagrams and re-import them. You can do it all in one place. So you could write basically a whole book in Neck Diagrams. So that's amazing. Text boxes and fretboard now supports. Text boxes and fretboard text now supports mixed font styles. Plus, there's more control over defaults and preferences. There's even more macros for quickly entering musical symbols. Oh, that's awesome. Macros, that's what you want. They have enhanced export features, okay? So EPS, SVG, and TIFF are now supported. Before, they didn't have those. There's lots of advanced features that have been added to our new Publisher Edition. So this is the one that I opted in for. You can export the selected object. You can have transparent backgrounds for PNGs. You have control over the target size. For example, 300 dpi for print purposes. So your target DPI settings. And you can watermark your exports. We talked about that. Can you handle more? We've got you covered. Let's see what all they've covered us with. Fretboard power-ups. Now I'm curious myself to see what this is. Per interval color schemes. So each interval can have its own color scheme. You can copy and paste and clone notes across fretboards. Note markers can be anywhere. No more restrictions or special open string markers. That's amazing because it was so aggravating not being able to put notes and things where you wanted them. The thing that I'm looking forward to, hopefully it's got it on here, is that you can, I think it does, I just see it, is connecting different arrows and things. Before it was limited to notes or text boxes. Now I think you can connect an arrow to anything, and it's really handy when you have something to point to as an example. It just gets it across a lot better. So you have user control over note and font size, realistic fretboard woods, and that's what we were showing up here. You can see the different woods and everything you can check out. That's pretty cool. That's almost like a roasted maple, like my new guitar. Okay. Fretboards can now have footer text as well, so that's good. Full fret numbering customization. So you've got complete customization over the fret numbering. We have new tools. This is where the arrows are. We have a new capo and a bar tool. A new line tool with optional arrow endpoints. You can see right here that there's an arrow like going just about everywhere. Okay. All right. You have shape objects. That's nice. You have control over object Z order. I'm not exactly sure what Z order is. If I look that up, let's see if it'll give us an idea here. Object Z order. I wonder if that's something to do with bring to front, move to back, kind of like that. The arrangement of the objects, the layers, basically. Hopefully that is. I'm guessing that's a level like XYZ. So horizontal, vertical, and then depth. I'm guessing that's what it's talking about. The Z is the depth. So you have control over your layers, I think. Z order is the ordering of overlapping two-dimensional objects, such as windows in a stacking window manager, shapes in vector graphics editor, or object in 3D application. Okay, so that's good that you have layer control, basically. And then theoretically speaking, it says you can have proper compound interval support now that our tunings have octave data. So the tunings have octave data, and now you can have the right compound interval support. So once they recognize an octave, a 2 becomes a 9, a 4 becomes, I think, a 11. So the compound intervals, as they stack up, they have better support for that. You have Soulful J, Romance, and Chromatic Note naming schemes. I'm not very familiar with that. Soulful J, I've heard that, and I've looked it up before, and I can't remember what it means. Solfège, or whatever it's called, however you pronounce that. Come on. Solfège, solemnization, exercise, and singing using psalmization syllables. The study of singing and musicianship using psalmization syllables. Well, what in the world is psalmization? Anyway, you can look that up if you want to. Latin interval naming schemes such as 2M, 3M, 5, negative, things like that. And then below you could see they had a pre-order available. They had it available for March 14th. That was yesterday. It actually came out today. And you get some more FAQs. So, like I said, this is no longer this is not a live link here that they have anywhere else. This just came in the newsletter. Okay, so once again, let's do a quick video before I get into diving into this. Let's do a quick video on neck diagrams. And once again, this was released in the email newsletter as well. So they haven't released this publicly. I think it may even be unlisted. I don't know, but I'm going to check on this. And now we really have a problem because, well, I'm going to be quiet during the video because I'm hearing my echo back. There's a delay somewhere, but I'm going to be quiet and stop talking so that you only hear the audio of the video, and that should come across really quick. Let me check on what's going on here. Hopefully that won't affect the video here. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute, and when I hear the talking stop on my end, I'll play the video. How about that? you saw it there. I'm going to take real quick and make a copy of that and put it on the actual live feed here. Because it's not unlisted, so I'm assuming that they want it to be shared. So I'm going to go ahead and share it here. And that should be, you should be able to see that. All right, so without further ado, anybody any questions? There's no activity whatsoever. I've got only 5 people watching, but hopefully everybody's enjoying this. I didn't really see a lot of what happened there because it was almost too small. And if it's too small for you to see as well, just go ahead and check it out on that link. It'll be there in the show more description. You should be able to see it. If not now, then when the video is done recording. So let's go back here. I'm going to go ahead and I think that's all I need for this. Okay, so yeah, I just seen the oops down here, the page where we tried to click the image a while ago wasn't showing up. The page wasn't showing up. So notes on the neck, the oriented scale, study example. So you got some other things here you can check out if you look at screenshots. I'm just going to go back to the home page and go ahead and get started with the actual neck diagram software. Okay, so I'm going to take this and move it to the side. Now we're on my other page. Okay. All right, so here we are once again. Like I said, I'm seeing a little bit of a delay in the feed. All right, so let's continue on. We have the neck diagrams 2. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. All right, so once you buy this, once you purchase this, you'll get an email showing you about license codes and all that stuff. They will set you up. It's fairly easy to get it going and started. Like I said, I already installed this and made sure that everything worked before even opening this now. So everything should work just fine. Forgot to mention I have some nice homemade lemonade my wife made not long ago. Really good stuff. As well as some Twizzlers just in case. Love Twizzlers. I'm addicted to those things. While we're waiting, why don't you guys please, if you haven't yet, please check out Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. Not Essentials. I already have Essentials app. Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios. If I can get my mouse to work right. Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios. Brand new course. Just released on USB not too long ago. Okay. Has all kinds of good stuff. Notice those neck diagrams there? I created those with neck diagrams. Amazing? Yes. So, that is now available. This is the USB version of the course. All right, that just fell out. The USB version of the course, a little nice insert there. And I call it a course, an entire course in your pocket. The download version is available now. The streaming version is available now, but those will be changed pretty soon. The download version will be unavailable for just a little while because I have to change some things over. I'm actually beginning to host courses on my website. So I'm going to change things, remove those from, or not remove them, but put them on my page, my website. So I have better control over them, and I have, frankly, better profit from them because where I have them hosted now, there's just very hardly any profit margin. Okay, so, but yeah, check that out. You can find that at bluegrassguitararpeggios.com. I think that should be, bluegrassguitaressentials.com/arpeggios. Okay, that is the correct link there on your screen right now. You can check that out. Totally affordable. There's multiple levels of this available. Like I said, it's got streaming, download, USB, and then hopefully very soon the DVD versions of this course. All right, so neck diagrams has just loaded. So let's go ahead and go to that page, and you can see what's going on there. All right, so when it comes on, this is what I see, okay? So it basically immediately opens every folder I have so that I can have a bird's eye view of what's going on here. Now, I don't know if I can change the preferences to fix that, but I don't want to have everything open every time I come into this. So, I don't know exactly how to fix that. So I'm just going to close that out. I'm just going to go to the top level of these, close those out. Sample diagrams, my diagrams. I think, yeah, all these in my diagrams are the same thing as what's in the neck diagrams here. So cage method chords, mandolin scales, students, mandolin scales. Where's cage? That cage method chords. Yeah, so these are just old diagrams that the original diagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this whole folder here. I don't think I'll need them because I've already got them. Really quick, let's see. Chords. I don't have an old chords diagrams method or diagrams there. I do have mandolin, scales and modes, and students. So let me see what's in this old chord diagram. Nothing? Okay. So let's go ahead and remove this neck diagram. We have 7 in there, and if I come up here, there are 10. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. Don't think I'll need them. Just going to delete that. Items in the folders will also be deleted. Okay, let me check real quick. Make sure that I have this right before doing that. All right, I'm going to go to neck diagrams backups. There's my diagrams, and here's neck diagrams. Okay, so yes, all those will be deleted. But look, same thing, basically. Now, there's a couple things that changed. Relative tuning method. Here's one way to figure this out. Let's go to the actual revised date, or whatever you want to call it. So, if I go to the backups, this was revised today. 6:05. Actually, it was revised that was probably when I installed neck diagrams. This was 2014. So that tells me I no longer need these anyway. These are old. I've got all these stuff backed up here. I don't think I got to worry about it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and tell it I want it to delete it. And those will be deleted as well. And we will check out to make sure those have been deleted. So those should be my trash now. All right. So before I empty it, I'll probably go back and check one more time if there's anything I absolutely need. Okay. So we have the neck diagrams backups right here, everything in there, and you can see what's going on here. So this is what it looks like. This is the diagram gallery, and you can see that this is new. You can see that over here, this little grid view. If you hover your mouse over it, it should say diagram gallery. There you go. Here's the edit diagrams. So when you double click on a diagram, that's the page you'll go to. So it doesn't any longer stack it up in tabs like it used to between the diagram gallery and the edit diagrams. And then you have your instruments over here, your instrument library, okay? So let's go on ahead. I want to make sure that I have no chat going on. Everything's going fine. Okay. So let's check this out. Let's have ourselves a nice screen to work on here. All right. So what's new in ND2? Let's check that out real quick, okay? So I'm going to double click that. I need to check something out real quick. That doesn't make any sense. I've got neck diagrams backups here. And that says it here too. Neck diagrams backups. That's where I want it to be saved. Okay. You'll notice that it automatically backs things up. It automatically has it set to back up frequently as a zip. So I can always go back and look at any of these old ones if I need to. So I've got them all the way back to August 2015, if I need them. But look, they're very, very small. They're not even a megabyte, I don't guess. 484 kilobytes. They're not even a megabyte. Even down here to my biggest one, it's not even, it's let's see, 94.1 megs. Man, that jumped up high. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so apparently this is definitely where I want them to be saved at. So let's go back here. What's new in Neck Diagrams 2? Now notice, you can see kind of like the feel out of what's going on. I can click elements here, should be able to. Depending on if it's editable or not. So okay, I can click that. There's a graphic that they used. I can click on other instances and everything. They got a nice little border here. Okay. So what's new in ND2? There's a ton of changes. Far too many to list each item. Okay. Here. So this will be a quick run through of the main things I can remember right now. Okay. You got a revamped UI with a docked inspector. In other words, the inspector is now docked here. Okay. I can change the size of it. I can shorten it or, whatever. If I need to have it shorter or whatever, I can do that. I'm going to put it back to close to where it was though. All right, there's good enough. File handling, rewritten multi-page documents from scratch. It's rewritten from scratch. Rich text editing, exporting improvements, audio playback, note copy and paste, and cloning across fretboards. How did you like that to where the notes actually went sideways? They went horizontal when they moved them from a vertical diagram. I thought that was amazing. That was really cool. This new thing appeared just here. What is that? That's show and hide property inspector. Okay, so that's the inspector. So I can get rid of it or I can bring it back. I like to leave it out. You can place any note marker type anywhere on the fretboard. You got wood textures, capo bar tool. That's these over here. I'm guessing if I hover these, what does it say? Okay, solid rounded capo, hollow rounded capo, bar connection. Create a bar connection between note markers. Curve connection between. Okay, so you can hover and they'll show you what all these are. Advanced editing capabilities. Note in interval naming improvements. There's a line tool. This thing right here. That's really cool. You can create a line that can have bend points and arrowheads, a polyline. So that's really cool. Yeah, I guess you can connect stuff anywhere. Shape objects. So you got all these different other shapes that you can use. Okay, you've got a. Oh, whoa, dude, check that out. All these have highlight points to them. So I'm not going to go into all these, but let's just kind of slide over these just a little bit. I kind of went over some of these anyway. So you got a revamped with a docked inspector. And that's what we just found out up here. Okay, so you can read that. When you install it, you can read this. And like I said, it's a demo, free for 30 days. By the way, check this out. You got new layers here. There's your layer tool. There's your Z point, options. So you can send it backwards. That's awesome. Anytime you're working with multiple layers of 2D images, it's vital that you have the ability to move things back and forth. And these are really cool because these are your line options. You can align 2 or more diagrams center vertically. You can line them all to the right. You can line them to the top, to the bottom, to the middle. You can match the width of each one. You can match the height, distribute horizontally or distribute vertically. They've always had that, but now it's even better. It just looks awesome. I love the way this looks. Okay, so let's keep going. File handling is rewritten from scratch, so I will definitely be checking this out myself. I'm kind of curious as to where the Dropbox and all this stuff happens. You can share your files in a Dropbox, iCloud, OneDrive, Google Drive folder, or any web DAV folder. Okay, so there's a handy helper when you right-click on an item in the diagram gallery. There's an option to show in Finder, show in Explorer, so you can get to a file folder easily on your computer. That's really good. Multi-page documents, you can have more than one page for making books. Check this out. This is a multi-page document. We've already had 2 pages. 1, 2. Now we're on the 3rd, okay? You can join pages together. If you have some single pages from Neck Diagrams 2 that you want to convert to a multi-page document, just select them in the diagram gallery, which is, like we said, over here. All right, so let's say we wanted to join together. Let me find one that has multiple ones. Here, let's say we wanted to join these 3 together, okay? So it's said to go up to File and Merge Documents, okay? So you can do that way. Now, to get back to that, I don't have to find it again and click on it and all this. All I have to do is just go back to the Edit Diagrams, and it'll be there, okay? So that's this one, okay? So you can join them together, or you can select some pages and drag and drop them onto one another. Even better. Merge works with any docs, in fact, not just single pages, okay? You got some rich text editing. This is more in depth of the thing that I showed you earlier, easily, because I mean you got examples and things here. So you got, check this out. You shouldn't need eagle eyes to spot that the text boxes in this file have mixed font styles at last. You can distract yourself from double stops by worrying about the layout of your couplets. Okay, so a little humor there. Multi-symbol shortcuts. Okay, this is really cool. There's your shortcuts. He flats, and oh man, that's awesome. So you don't have to look up the Unicode symbol. I no longer have to go up here and look up the show emoji and symbols on my Mac. I could just memorize these really easy shortcuts and create them. So it's the little I don't know what those things are called. Not parentheses, but not brackets either. But it's the bracket button on your keyboard if you hold Shift. So a B creates a flat, and a double B creates a double flat. A hashtag, which a lot of people call it, the sharp number sign, pound sign, creates a sharp. Two of them creates an X, so it's a double sharp. Interesting. An N for natural creates a natural sign. An M creates a little triangle, which I can't think of off the top of my head what that is. That's not diminished. That might be augmented. I can't remember exactly what that is. I have to look that up. And then an HD creates a zero with a slash in the middle of it. I'll have to figure out what those are. Not exactly sure. You got some exporting improvements. There's a lot of new features. Okay, so you got a different selection, ability to export a selection in a document, selected objects. You can see that here. Transparent background. Some more formats. Open exported files with your default associated application. Have your exported automatically open with Acrobat Preview or whatever. That's really cool. You can tell it what size you're going for, okay, when you're exporting it. You can watermark it. You can add a watermark, text and image, either or both on export. There's a second page on the export dialog with a variety of settings to control how the watermark is added. Opacity, position, or repeat angle, etc. Now this would come in handy for me, maybe, if this is what it works. Because if you can do the position, if this works like this, it'll be really nice because I could have one image duplicated across multiple pages. For example, if I go back here to my diagram gallery, you'll notice on, let's just get off the Bluegrass Guitar Essentials and go with the latest, which is the Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios here. You'll notice here, if I just open that up, let's just open just the first one, the diagram legend. Now you'll notice there's a logo across each one of these, the top page, okay? And that is the Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios logo, okay? But rather than pasting those every single time into each document, which is what I've had to do, if you have a watermark available, it can act as basically your header, I think, if I've got this right. So I can make this my header. Let me go ahead and stretch that out. For some reason that's not showing right. There we go. I can make that my header, and so that it would place it in that position where I want it each and every diagram for my watermark for this specific set. So when I changed it later, like I say, if I'm working on a new product, I would probably change the logo, and that would change the watermark. But that's fine. If I need to go back and do it, that's totally fine. Now I noticed these, like literally just before I did this, just before I started this stream, these were imported into Neck Diagrams too. But I already see a little bit of issues. Like for one instance, you've seen where the box wasn't exactly as long as it needed to be, and it's cut off some stuff, and I just need to make this a little bit bigger. I'm not going to go back and forth with all these because the course is already created. It's already out there. I don't have to worry about it. But if I ever had to come back and make changes to these, then I'll just go ahead and fix it right then. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm already in it, so I might as well just fix it. Okay, so the bottom line. Okay, so now make sure that's centered. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and select both of these. Select that and tell it to align to center. Okay. Here's how this works. You have to select the one you want it to be aligned to center first. So I want it to be aligned to that, and then I'll select these others and align those to the center of that one. Just align it to center, and bam, there they are. Okay. All right, actually, I want that to be aligned. I want it to be aligned to center for that. Let's go back here. Align to center, bam. All right, so we got that. So that would be really cool if I could make a watermark do that. So I'm just going to save that. Now notice there's a little asterisk up here. You can't really see it very well, but it's right beside the name. Anytime you make a change to a document, there's going to be a little asterisk there. Now I'll zoom in. Hopefully you can see that. If not, then that's where it's going to come in. That just means that you need to save it. Now notice when I tell it to control save, that's going to disappear. Keep an eye on it. It's gone. Okay, so let's see here. Diagrams, legend, blah, blah, blah. This file has been modified by another program. Do you want to reload it? Yes, whatever. Why not? I don't know what it means. But it's saved, so it's fixed now. So no problem. Nothing's really been changed. I think originally these solid notes, hollow notes were within the main arpeggio. I didn't see this one. Okay. Hollow notes are within the main arpeggio, but not chord tones. Okay, so anyway, I had those hollowed out. Okay, so that's done. Once again, asterisk appeared. Click save, and there you go. So I can close that out and go back to what's new. So that's really cool if the watermark works like that. All right, audio playback. Isn't this really cool? I can hear the fretboards. So I can actually go back and listen to some of my bluegrass guitar arpeggios diagrams and hear them. That really makes me excited. That gets me excited right there. You can hear them. So up here, you'll notice there's all these different musical symbols, okay? So on that looks like a head with musical notes, so I guess that may be a speech thing. I don't know. On the toolbar, you'll find two new buttons. The first is to play all the notes on the fretboard together as a chord. You can see it on the left of showing the tooltip and keyboard shortcuts. So if I highlighted this, open the scale generator. That's the scale generator. So here's the two new tools. You can play it, chord, or play the arpeggio, okay? The second plays the notes separately in sequence as an arpeggio by default from lowest to highest. These buttons are only enabled when a fretboard is selected, so I have to select the fretboard. Here's a fretboard you can select. Try this now. Remember to click the actual application toolbar, not the image on this page. What does that mean? Click the actual application toolbar. That's the app. Yeah, okay, so this is the application. Click the actual application toolbar, not the image on this. I don't know what that means. Oh, click it up here. Don't click this right here. Click it up here. Okay, so I can play as a chord. So let's see what happens if I play a G sus2. I click play chord. Let me see. Click the actual application. Not hearing it. Don't know what's going on with that. Might be something in preferences or something I need to fix. Let's check out the preferences real quick. Might be something to do with it. May actually explain down here too. I may be doing this for nothing. Sound. Instrument. Okay, awesome. Look at this. I got all these different instruments. Slow tempo, choosing the playback tempo, instrument arpeggiation sequence. Man, do they have all these instruments? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Start from the lowest note, return back through the notes played, up, then down, or down, up, You can do that and finish on a root note. That's really cool. Nothing really that I'm applying or changing, so I'm going to click off that. And I should be hearing sound through that. I don't know why that's not playing sound. Maybe I'll try another diagram. Let's try another diagram. Let's go over here and see if we can find one. If it plays, then I'll go ahead and show it. Let's see here. Where's the chords? Let me go to the chords here. Bluegrass guitar arpeggios completed. Do I have chords? I've got arpeggios. There we go. Now, I'm not going to worry about fixing this, even though I know it's going to be, the boxes aren't going to be completely resized correctly and all that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I want to check. This may not work because I actually have lines and everything selected. Let's see if I can do something with this. Still not hearing anything. Don't know why. Let's go to actual chords that I have for my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials course. Chords and licks. Common chords. Check that out. Yeah, all right. Let's see. We have. Let's try just a regular G here. See if this plays. Not hearing sound. I'm going to have to ask him about that. If there's something that I'm missing here. Let me go back to this one and see if there's something I'm missing. In the preferences, there's an option to configure various options, your arpeggio speed, which note to start on, tempo, and the sound used for playback. We're using general MIDI for now, so please don't get too upset about the lack of realism just yet. And the sound used for playback, let's check that out. Sound used for playback. Bird tweet. What? Helicopter applause, gunshot. This must be some of the sounds that are actually on my computer. Guitar, just regular guitar, right there. But there's nothing about the sounds to use. Apply and close, whatever. I didn't really apply anything, so maybe it'll. I think I'm going to change something real quick. I'm going to mute the mic, and then I'm going to change on my speakers and see if I can hear on my actual speakers. Okay, the sound does work. For some reason, it wasn't coming back into. Oh, I know why. You may have just. That's probably because I didn't have the mix up. Maybe, you know? Yeah, I didn't have the mix up. So, you should be able to hear the sound now if I click off. And you'll be able to hear my, the delay we're hearing. And then I'll stop and then click the sound. Okay, the sound does work. For some reason, I know why. You may have just. That's probably because I didn't have the mix up. Maybe, you know? Yeah, I didn't have the mix up. So, you should be able to hear the sound now if I click off. And you'll be able to hear my, the delay we're hearing. And then I'll stop and then click the sound. Okay, the sound does work. All right, so you heard that. The sound is working. For some reason it wasn't working earlier. I had the mix down and I couldn't hear it, but if I try to turn it up, then we've got that delay, so we got that issue. I'd like to be able to play this chord See if we can go back to the preferences, because I'd like to be able to play this chord, not just a band, just I'd like maybe as a strum. That would be nice. Playback tempo, instrument arpeggiation sequence. Fast tempo, start from the lowest note arpeggiation. That's a G sus2. And now I'm wondering, because that sounds like a minor chord to me, but it says it's a G7 sus2. Okay, so that's why it didn't sound right. All right, let's continue on. Before I go any further, let me check to make sure there's no chat or anything. I don't see any chat. Okay, so nobody is saying nothing. There's 4 people watching. Thank you so much for that. At least one of them is me, because you can see that here. So let me go back where I was. You can copy and paste the note and cloning those notes across the fretboard. There's 2 ways to do this, and I'll read all that stuff later. But notice as you drag them, if the square turns purple, it means the note won't be visible. If it turns red, it means the note will be lost in case there's no string beneath it. Okay, so that's interesting. So, and it gives you an example of how we do this. All right, so here's an example pick of what you might see. All right, select the notes you want to move. So it actually gives you an activity for this. This is really cool. It's a live interactive way to do this. Now this only works because I have neck diagrams, so you can't really do this with somebody that doesn't have neck diagrams. You see what I'm saying? It would be a PDF. It can't be really interactive unless they have this software. Put them on the notes where you want to see. You can just use the menu, standard copy and paste keyboard, shortcuts. They go on the same location they were on the fretboard that were copied from. So let's go ahead and select. If I select all, it selects all that, but I think it's. Let's see, what is select all fretboard notes? There's a shortcut for that. Select all fretboards. Fretboards. I don't need all fretboards. All notes should be Shift Command A. So I've got to actually select a fretboard for that to work. So select a fretboard, Shift Command A. All the notes should be okay. So I can copy them here. I'll do the Control C, and then let's just select the horizontal fretboard and I paste them. And looky there, exactly where they need to go. That's really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do an Alt drag. So I'll take this and hold Alt and move them here. And I can copy them anywhere. So if you copy and paste, it'll be exactly. But if not, I can actually drag them anywhere. So let's say I want to drop them there. Do you want to update the root node? No, I don't want to update the root node. I just want them to be the same. So check that out. Isn't that awesome? That's really cool. I like that example. So I'm just going to delete those, because later on I may want to do this again for practice or something. I'm going to delete those, get them out of the way, and select all all notes here. Delete those. Okay. No thanks. I don't know. Okay. So I'm curious to see how they actually wrote their text. When you select the text here, I guess you can place it anywhere. So if I click in this, here's the box where it is. Okay, so you can see the text box. But how do they do this? Okay, so they just hit return after so long, and then they put an actual image of something else here. I like, this is very interesting. Notice how they are actually making their own little symbols right here. See that? You can see they made their little bubble area by making these. I'm guessing they're using these little tools over here to make the little bubble. So I mean, that's a really cool way to do that. So that's it. We know that's an image. These arrows are, completely made up probably from that. This is let's see, that's a separate box. Can I click inside? Yes, I can. So is there a border there or what? What's going on with that? Border. A cloud. Oh, dude, they got borders now. It looks like a cloud. Okay, so that's cool. So I make a cloud around that, and it looks like it's going to, be just enough to go around. So that's really cool. I got new options there. Okay, so continuing on, you can place any marker anywhere on the fretboard, because before, this is a really good improvement. Before, all you could have was open notes here, and you couldn't place anything else there, and that made reading the notes really hard. It made them hard to see because they were so much smaller. But now look, you can make bigger ones. You can type things inside of them. You can make them small, make them as big as you want to. That's really cool. Okay. I want to put squares at the nut. Fine. We can put squares at the nut now. We can put X's there. We can put diamonds. We can put any note we want to. That's really cool. And you control the size of the markers now. So if I clicked on the big one, I can go here. I should be able to move that size. Nope. Let's see. Don't know how to control the size on that. How do you do that? Maybe when you place it, there's another way. Let's see if I right click it, if it does anything. Transpose, nope. Nope, maybe, nope. Not sure how to control the size. Let's put one down here. Let's do a diamond so I know it's a different one. I'm gonna put one here. Maybe if I click and drag there and make it a small one, it'll make it small. No. What if I make a big one here? Let's see. Selection tool. Marquee tool. Not exactly sure how to control the size on that. That's not obvious, so maybe it'll show up later. Oh, wait. I just thought of something. Maybe it's over here. Shape, label, custom size. Okay, yeah, check that out. That's the size right there. So let me go back over here. Drag that here, and I can make that a custom size. Let's make it 55. Okay, but that changes the fretboard when it does it. Okay, so that's really cool. All right, so that's how you change the size. You go in the inspector. Okay, so anything you have a question about, check out the inspector. You never know what you're going to find. Fretboard wood textures. This is awesome. Okay, so there are all kinds of textures you can choose from. If we go over here, we can see that's the fretboard right there. And here's the legend, the frets. So the board, let's see what they've got. They've got, which texture is this? Okay, so we've got, that's probably maple. There's maple 1 and maple 2. Got ebony, Brazilian rosewood, Indian rosewood, Honduran rosewood. That's pretty cool. So they got darks, lights, or all. I would consider that a roasted maple. All right. And speaking of roasted maple, if you haven't seen it yet, you really need to head over to my YouTube channel and check out the unboxing and the sound test review of this bad boy. A brand new Ibanez AZ 242BC in deep espresso burst. Love this guitar. Roasted maple neck, pickups, Hyperion pickups by Seymour Duncan, Bacote top, basswood body, luminescent side dots, Goto locking tuners, Goto bridge, 10-way pickup selector switch, amazing tones, and I've just recently released 2 videos of this. You really got to go check that out. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to do that soon. Okay, love this guitar. All right, back to the neck diagrams real quick. Okay, so we got different fretboard things. Interesting how they got the different colors here. You got a dark brown on a lighter brown. I like the blue over the whatever fretboard that is, the darker. And I like, now this would be cool if this was like green for like a chocolate mint. That would be really cool. And then you got an orange over another brown, so that looks really cool. All right, here's another page. You got a new capo / bar tool. Okay, so that means there's a new tool for capos that can be used as a bar partial capo tool. Round, solid, hollow. Okay, you can create. You can drag across a number of frets to create a partial capo or a small bar. They don't have to. They don't have note info themselves, but you can show this by simply creating notes on top of them. That's cool. You can adjust the number of strings the capo bar covers by moving the middle section handle at either end. I'm guessing that'll be easy to figure out later. Adjust the number of strings the capo bar covers by moving the middle section handle at either end. I guess there's a handle on either side of this. So if I come down here, move it at either end, so I can move that. Okay, and then there's a note on top of it if you want to add a note on top of that. You can make it hollow because that way people know it's part of the bar or something. Now notice too, so that's a bar there. But the cool thing is, if you don't like that style bar, you can still use. Notice there's a bar here. Okay, so you can still connect two elements as a bar, and that's probably going to be this tool right here, bar connection. Okay, that's a curved connection. Curved bar connection between note markers, or just a regular bar connection. All right, so you still have that option available. I like that option myself. You have enhanced editing capabilities. Object size and location is now accessible in the inspector. Size and location is now accessible here. Fretboards can now have footer text at the bottom. Don't know exactly how that would work. Oh, right here, footer text. Before you could only have the numbers. Or the note names, something like that. The numbers, the finger numbers, and the note names, things like that. But now you can actually have footer text, like this one shows here. You have footer text on the bottom of the fretboard, and I assume you do that with the this tool. I just noticed something. Check this out. I clicked this, and look at the inspector. It shows me it's this tool right here, a dash connection. That's kind of odd. Maybe it just means a general tool. That it's a tool, but it's not. It's a bar connection tool is what that is. But anyway, just a little thing I noticed. So like I said, if I go to here, I should be able to see the footer option by clicking the fretboard there. Let's see, that's the frets. Here's the fretboard, the frets. No, wait, that's the fret wires, the numbering, and all that. So the text, it may be over here. Show footer, yeah, see that? Show footer or show title. Okay. So the chord name can be on the bottom, or it can be on the top. Okay, you've got your instrument over here. Which one you're going to use? You have the legend. Okay, so that's the legend. What all these different things mean, and then just some random other information about it. So you have the frets, the fretboard itself, the instrument, the style. Text style and things like that. Enhanced editing capabilities. Footer text. Emphasize any note markers by making its size larger or smaller. Increase the font size. Note marker labels. Use the above items 3 and 4 can also be controlled for the whole fretboard. Horizontal fretboards can be flipped. Now you can rotate, so that's really cool. For example, for a standard tuned guitar fretboard, the low sounding E string will be at the top of the diagram instead of the bottom. Oh, okay, so that's like flipping like that. Not rotating, but completely flipping. Enhanced numbering. Oh, sorry, guys. I just now realized you weren't following along with me because I don't have the screen enabled. Sorry. So, back to what I was saying real quick. I clicked this tool, or the bar, and it showed up as that instead of the bar that it's supposed to be, which was odd. But anyway, you can have this available as opposed to the new bar tool here. Okay, so you can, instead of barring like that, you can actually use the other tool, and that's this curve one right here, this bar one. So as I was saying earlier, we have fret board footers here, which if you click on the fretboard and you go to the style, the T here, you can see it says show footer. Okay, so that's how you get that there. And really quick, there's the instruments. Here's your legend. Here's the frets, and here's the fretboard itself. Okay, and this is just some other information, if there is any other, about the fretboard. Okay, so the key, compound intervals, This is where some of that theory stuff came in. The border, portion, position size, exactly where you want it to be. So that's really cool. Because I think there's a grid here, so you can do a grid, see where the grid is, see where all this stuff goes, and then kind of find the position here. I don't typically like the grid on myself, but it's there if you need it. Okay, really quick. Fretboards can be flipped. There's a custom option where you can specify which frets should be numbers as opposed to letters, I guess. Which frets should be numbers. So that's the length of the fretboard. Let me go up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about because I just seen one of them. Okay, which of these should be numbers? Okay, so do I want the 1, 5, the 9? Do I want 1, 7, 5, 9? Do I want which ones should have numbers? Basically, I can do all the odds, whatever. So that's probably to do with the board itself. Starting at fret, string gauge, interval strings. Oh, that's colors. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of cool colors here. You can have different interval colors. You can have predefined colors here. That's cool. Not exactly sure how you would do that. That might be the legend thing. Fret bar. Fret numbering. Here's custom ones. Check that out. 1, 5, and 9. That's all I want. Starting only frets. I can do standard frets. I can do all the numbers. I can decide what I want my fret numbers to be. So that's really cool. All right. So a lot of enhanced options are available in the inspector. Proper support for compound intervals, which we just saw over here. I think it was in the other section. Note marker shape can now be changed via the inspector. So the shape can now be changed. So if I wanted a different shape than the block, I can click on the block and change the shape here on the inspector. Isn't that awesome? These guys thought of everything. All right, so support for interval color schemes. We just seen a bunch of those. Note and interval naming improvements. So here's the theory part, the solfege, romance, do, re, mi, and all this stuff. Octave numbers can now also be shown along with the note names. So the note names, and then it can show the octave number. So it could be A1, A2, the different octaves, things like that, probably. That's really cool. So I'm guessing, once again, that's with the legend. So it's already selected. That would probably be a show octave number. Check that out. Okay. So if it was a scale or something, I could do a different octave number. There's not an octave. It doesn't have an octave on here, though, so I can't really do that. So I can actually, let's just take a note and put it here, because that would be the same as the root. And now I can show the octave number, and it should show it. Actually, let's select this one too. Show octave number. Label as fretboard. Custom. Nope. Let's see. Note. Not showing the octave number for some reason. I might have something wrong. I don't know. That would be the first octave, though, there. If we use that. Let me select two of these. Maybe I've got to define the octaves or something. I don't know exactly how that works. But anyway, I can get rid of that now. Oops, what did I delete if it wasn't that? Go ahead and delete that then. Now we can delete. No. Alright. Come back down here some more. Support for Latin interval naming schemes, Latin style options, all these things here. You got a line tool. This is exciting here. This excites me big time. Before we get into that, let's see how everybody's doing on the live dashboard here. We've got 3 people watching. It's been an hour and a half almost. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry that there hadn't been a lot, a lot more people to watch, but maybe they'll watch this later on when it goes live on the actual site, I guess. And now there's 4 people watching. Thank you for joining us. We are going over the neck diagram software. Just about to wrap things up, I think. I'm probably going to create a diagram, play with some stuff, and then we'll call it a night. I'm going really quickly through the overview of the neck diagram software. We're on point number 13, almost at the end here of what's new in ND2. So there's a new line tool. And if you've missed any of this, please go back and watch it from the beginning. That way I won't have to continue re-explaining a lot of things on this video. All right, so the line tool. The connection tools in ND1 aren't very flexible. You can say that again. We've enhanced them, allowing you to adjust the line thickness and choose the color other than black. We've also added a super flexible line tool. That would be this bad boy, I do believe. It also has a line thickness and color attributes, as well as dash type and different endpoint styles, with control over the endpoint size. So the size of these endpoints you can control. Oh, and the ability to add kinks and bends where you want them. When the line is selected, just drag the handle in the middle of the start and end point to create a bend. You can repeat for each subdivision. To delete a bend, just grab the bend point and straighten it out. Interesting. So let's try this. So let's click on this and just add a line anywhere, because they've added some here, so that's cool. So it says when the line is selected, so I'm just going to drag a line here, and when it is selected, drag the handle in the middle of the start and end. So this one, drag it out, create a bend. Okay, and then here's another one. Check that, and then even more are selected, created. Okay, and I can add infinitum probably. I can repeat for each subdivision. So each time it comes out, there's more. All right. To delete a bend, just grab the bend point and straighten it out. So grab the bend point, straighten it out, and it completely removes that. Bam! It locks it into place. Okay. Bam. All right. So now there's just one. We can do the dash type. We can make it dotted. We can make it, weird dotted. I'm going to change the width to like 4. Hit return. There you go. Endpoints. Okay, so I can change the endpoints to arrows. And then that one can be that. All right. I can change the size of the endpoints. So let's go 2 on each one. 2. I mean, that's the x-axis. Let's go 5. Let's go, I need the y-axis. 2. Okay. And then if I did this 2, it would make it smaller. Okay. So that's how you change those. That's really cool. I can change the color to anything. Awesome. Let's change it to one of my favorite green colors. And then we close it and it should apply it. There we go. Awesome. Isn't that cool? So I can track and start bending these things out and making them, super dynamic, whatever. That's really cool. And I can do it anywhere. Before, you had to attach it to a text block or a note on the fretboard. It was not free form like this. This is amazing. I'm glad they've done this. It's really cool. And then the final thing here is shape objects. Now we've created some basic shapes in your ND documents to outline, highlight things, etc. We've added ellipses, circles, and rectangle squares, which can have rounded corners. Okay, so and a lot of that is option for in the neck diagrams inspector. So now that that's over with, notice, like I said before, it has an asterisk up here. So I'm just going to click. I don't want to click save anything. I don't want to save anything. So I'm going to tell I don't want it to save. I want it to be original. Okay, and so now we can go back here, and I am curious to listen to the sound here. You won't be able to hear this because I won't have it enabled, but I'm curious to hear this sound. Just a second, testing this out. Okay, so what I'm hearing is when I click on that, the chord is just like bang, like that. You can't really hear the separation. So that's a little tweak that needs to be fixed. But you do have the arpeggio, so if you like that instead, you could just play the arpeggio. You could go over here and tell it to play the arpeggio fast. And then what would happen is I would click this. Okay, I know you can't hear that, but what you could do is if you want it to be more like a chord, go over here to preferences and tell it that the fast tempo needs to be like above 180, like somewhere around here. So I could drag it up, play the arpeggio in a fast mode, and it would sound more like a chord. I wish they had more options for the chords, but right now the chord, maybe it's because I'm recording, but the chord option sounds very, very stiff. All right, so, but it is accurate. It's really cool. What it's doing is it's playing all these notes in order of their appearance. So it's going from up here, then down here, and then over. And around up here, and then over. Okay, so that's what it's doing. So I can actually hear my chords, and switch notes around and kind of experiment that way. So that's really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. All right, so now let's go back to, let's create a brand new sample chord thing here. Okay, so let's just create a new one. So we've got a little arrow here. I can create a new blank diagram. What does this say? I can import diagrams or from zip files. That's cool. And I could either do a new blank diagram here or click new diagram and it gives me some options. So I'm just going to experiment with some of these. So here's the different ones we have. I have my own templates of different ones that I like. Horizontal fretboards, vertical boxes, one, there's 6 here, blank, you can start from scratch. So let's just say, for example, here's the one I've created for myself, for my template for guitar arpeggio, bluegrass guitar arpeggios. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Once again, let's check on the chat room. Nothing happening there. All right, so I'm just going to kind of ignore chat then. So here's what you can see. You can see. Let me go ahead and extend some of these out because they're not exactly where they're supposed to be here. Right, page number. Anything else needs a? No, I think everything else is fine. All right, so here's how I've got mine set up. I've got some tips here, some more tips, some other boxes here that I want if I need them. And basically, you can duplicate and add all these other ones if you want to. Like I said, you can start from a blank page or you can create your own chords, whatever. Just for fun, let's go ahead and let's go back to the let me see the instruments here first. We haven't really checked that out. So we got all these different instruments. Ukulele, I do ukulele as well, so that's very interesting. Each guitar, each one has its own subdivision. So I have C6, Dad, Gad tuning, open A, open E, open G. I'm guessing this C6 is a drop C. That would be cool if it was. No, this is a drop C here. Okay, so drop C, drop D, open G dobro, standard tuning, standard 7-string, standard 8-string. So that's really cool. And then, like I said, each one of these has their own thing. Or you can add another instrument. Oh, you open the new instrument tuning wizard. So I guess you can maybe add your own. So that's really cool. So I'm going to go back out here to the diagrams and create a new blank one. Let's start from scratch, okay? Before I do, I got to see something here. For some reason, there's a little white line here, and I don't know why. So let me check to make sure that's diagram is okay. Don't know the reason for that. I'm not seeing any problem with that. Okay. All right, so new blank diagram. Let's just do that. I like that shortcut. Maybe you might even be able to add your own shortcuts. That'd be nice. So we're going to start with the new blank diagram. All right, well, here's the diagram things here. And if you hover, you can see the shortcut, the hotkeys for this. So let's say I wanted to do some scales, show you guys a pentatonic scale or something, okay? So I've got this. I can come down here and change my fretboard. Here's automatically, I think, starts on this. I can change the fretboard color. Let's change that to my maple. I'll call this the roasted maple. I'll change it to that. Okay, I already like that. Dot colors you can change as well. Mine are black, so let's go ahead and change the dot colors. Note markers. What is that called? Fret wire, the nut. Notes, note markers. That's these, okay. Intervals, that's not what I'm looking for. Set strings, not what I'm looking for there. What's that button do? Okay, so that's interval colors, note marker, ruler font, colors, instrument tuning font. Okay, anyway, I can set my own of those. A fret wire, the nut. Why is it showing my markers here? Maybe it's in this one. Fret marker dots, okay. So I'm going to make those. Let's try that. And it don't apply until you close the circle, okay? So, yeah. Well, they're actually black, so let's go to black. Actually, I like the other one better because it won't be confused with the actual notes. Now, here's the strings. Now, I can make the thickness even bigger if I want to. I've got 10s on my guitar now, which I prefer 9s, but it came with 10s. So, strings, thick outline. Seems like there's a way to make the strings thicker. I'm not sure. You can tell it if you want rounded ends, which I usually prefer, which is right here. I usually prefer the rounded ends. I can do those as outlines, so that's cool. I like that. I don't see. See, I can flip strings on a horizontal fretboard. There we go. Check that out. I can flip them just like that. If you have a left-handed guitarist, which I actually am teaching one, so I can make it left-handed. Okay, left-handed, flip the strings. Now it's a left-handed guitar. I can show the fretboard edges, which I don't really care to do most of the time. I usually just keep it like that. But I thought that you could change the thickness of the strings. I could be wrong. Thick outline. It might be in preferences. I don't know. We don't want to spend a lot of time on that. So I don't need a footer. I'm going to take the footer off. The title is called the header. So let's just call this. I should be able to edit it here. I think it's a double click. Let me double click it. There we go. Let's call this minor scale, and we'll call it G minor pentatonic scale, okay? So we can have it italicized, we can have it bold, whatever. I can leave it like that. I can change the font. Typically the font that I like is Merriweather. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. You can do the same thing for the notes as far as that goes. Text background. I can have a background if I wanted. That's like a highlight. I can even fill it with something. Don't know how that would work, but you can experiment with that. So we have the E, A, D, G, B, E. Let's go over here to the legend. Tuning. I don't want it to be Verdana. Typically, I think I use Calibri, but let me go back and check. No, all of this is Merriweather. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's just do Calibri for the stuff here. Calibri. Let's make this Calibri. There it was. I just seen Calibri. And make it bigger. Make it about 18. All right. So let's say we're going to do individual notes. Okay. So we're going to do G minor pentatonic scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Let's move that one over. If you press escape, it should go right back to the selection tool. So I can move that over. Right there is where it should be. And then go back to this marker tool, and it is an R. So I'll just do a round marker and just push R, and it'll go back there. I'll populate this like this. There we go. I don't know what happened there. I got a little too fast for it, I guess. Like I said, I'm doing streaming as well, so my CPU is bogged down. So this usually will be faster than this. Now notice all these notes are blank. So I'm going to select the fretboard and hit Command Shift A. That will select all the notes on the fretboard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it, well, I have to find the root note first. So here's the root note. I'm going to tell it that's a root note. Okay, then everything automatically is populated, and that's really cool. Let's see if it will do the octave number thing now. That's got to be something to do with preferences. I'm not sure why the octave thing is not working. This octave. Is it showing up? No. Why? Note names. Okay, standard. We'll show octave numbers. Bingo. Apply and close. Now let's see if it works. Not working. Don't know why. Let's go back to preferences. See what's going on here. Show octave numbers. I'll have to ask about that. Octave numbers. Let me make a note of that. Okay. We'll just go ahead and cancel that. Anyway, now we've got these. So let's say I wanted to, if this was a chord, let's say I wanted to make a bar here. So I could take and connect, like if it's an F, I can connect those two together. Okay. If it was a complete bar, I could take it and move it over and then click again, and it's a complete bar. Or I can just take this new bar thing here. I like the round one myself. And move it across all that. And it should fill that in. And the cool thing is maybe, okay, I don't see that happening. I was going to say, the cool thing is that you might be able to adjust the layers there, but I don't see it. So now my question is, how do I get that bar off the back? Tell you what, we'll move that to the side. And then move the bar out of the way from here. And I can make it a partial bar too by dragging it. So we're going to move that out of the way, move this back. Okay. One thing I don't think I can do is go from this horizontally though. I cannot go, I can't connect notes horizontally. I can do it vertically, but I can't bar horizontally. But you can use other tools for that. Like I can make a straight line here. I can connect another line together, different ways. I can have a saw line tool, a dash line tool, and then there's this if I needed to, bend things around, So very fast work. I can predict this already. I can take the notes and I can change them to, let's say I wanted the minor thirds to be hollow. So I just take that, make them hollow. That's really cool. I don't have to go back and do that. But now I notice the color, the label color is the fretboard, which is white. But I want to override that because now you don't see some of it. Okay, I can actually make the outline color. Well, that's the outline color is black. can make for the outline color, I can make it black. Okay, and that changes that. Still recording. Need anything special?
Do you want ramen?
Yes, I do. Yeah. All right, good. I'm in the mood for ramen. She's making it. Okay, so I can make those black. I thought there was a way. Should be. Maybe I can do this. And then draw an outline around it. And then I can make the outline. Let's see if this is right. That's the fill color. Not of the outline. That's the fill. Okay, so I can't change the outline. I was thinking I could make the outline hollow, but let's see what happens. Let's go back here. Because now I'm wondering. It was the legend here. The Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios legend. I noticed some of the hollow notes were changed to, they had a feel of white. So I'm wondering how they did that. So notice this, you got a hollow connection here, but the line's not appearing through the bottom of it. Okay, that's what I want to try to do. So outline color. How was it made? Wait a second, where's that at? It is that one, okay. Label as fretboard. The override outline color is gray. Wait a minute, I bet it's because of the transparent background. Let's go back here. That's probably what's happened. So let's get that out of the way. Make that an outline. Nope, it's not that. I thought the transparency had something to do with it, but it's not. Label colors as fretboard. How did it do that? How did it copy over and make it solid? I want to make it solid for the others. I want to have a feel in it, like it'd be solid white. Label color, outline color. I want the fill color to be something else, but I don't see a way to make a fill color. Is it something to do with the fretboard itself? Tuning. Fret marker dots. That's the middle dots here. Fret numbering. Not seeing an option for that. I don't know how to make those solid. Wait a sec. Okay. If I zoom in here, let's see if I can zoom in. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you see that, but you'll see that the edge of that has a little point on it, because this is actually a square note, but they've put a round thing in there. And so for some reason, it's taking the color of the fretboard and imposing it over that dot there. I don't think that helps me though, because it's, like I said, it's not a transparent. If I made it transparent, oh, wait a second, it was solid. Check that out. I put it transparent, and I'll take that off, and now it's the color of the fretboard. I get it. Okay, so it's going to take on the color attribute of the fretboard if you make it hollow. For example, the fretboard here is white. I can't change that to white, although I would like to. It just takes on the color of the fretboard. So this does not have a transparent background. which is kind of weird. I mean, there shouldn't be anything on the bottom of that at all. If you look at these, maybe if I put a label in there, I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and just forget about that. Okay, so we've got these hollowed. If we want to, I can change the shapes. I can make all the flat 7s, a triangle, you know, whatever. The other thing I can do is really cool. Let's say we had an extension of the minor pentatonic scale. So let's just go ahead and change those back to circles and change all these notes back to solid, not hollow. Needs to be the fretboard setting, so that's the label color. Needs to be, put that back. Okay, so we're going to add some extra notes here for the pentatonic scale. There's the octave. Okay. I'm going to make a note of that. Okay, so now we have some extra options. Now, here's what is really cool about this is I can take and select everything that connects that is kind of shared. So this is the back half. These are the back half notes of the minor pentatonic scale box 1. Okay, and this is the front half of box 2. So what I could do is, since this is also connected to box 2, this is actually the front half as well. So I could take all these notes, I could take my marquee tool so I don't have to click each individual one, just select all those. Okay, select those notes, hold a shift down and select those as well. And I can take and override the left and right color. So I can make the first color, let's just say it can be, well, it could still be black, but I can make the second color, the second half, let's just make those, I don't know, orange for a better, lack of a better reason. So now, this half belongs to box 1, and this half belongs to box 2. Okay? And once again, I can always come down here and either change and add a footer. If I select the fretboard, it allows me all of the different options up here in the inspector. I can show the footer, change that to... The only problem with doing it this way is you have to do all these spaces. So if I double click there, I would have to space till I got all the way to here and say box 1. There. Space. And that you don't want to do that. Okay, so what I would do myself is just take a text box and just place it here. And just say box 1. And what I would usually do is center that. I would take off the border because I don't want a border on this. Background fill. I'm not to the top. I can align to the center if I want to. I usually do the top, I think. Okay. Take box 1, move it over here. There we go. That's box 1. How do I get rid of that? Oh, here. I keep forgetting. Now you have to realize this doesn't have a symbol other than the dots, and it's easy to overlook that. So that's how you get rid of the border then. Okay, so I should be able to anyway. Border. Yeah, I don't need the border. Box 1, I take and... Is there a shortcut to duplicate? Duplicate page. Don't want to do that. I can do a new blank page and it put one under this. What I would probably do is just option and drag, or alt drag, and make another one and call that box 2. And the cool thing about this program too is it aligns everything to the grid. You'll notice that little blue line appeared when I did this. So I can take that and move it, and it's going to align it to the center of the other invisible box. I can align it to the bottom, I can align it to the top. You know, it's the fretboard itself is interfering with that, but I can do that. I can make box 2. Okay. I can add an image. I can add my logo or whatever. Now notice in the previous version of Neck Diagrams, when I did this, when I added my logo, it was way too big, and it completely, I couldn't open the file because of that. So I had to go back, and they taught me how to get it out of there. I don't even remember how I did it, but I just made sure to make sure that all my images were fairly small if I uploaded them to this, because that will take up a lot of space, and you risk not being able to open your file and having them coach you on how to get that to work. Okay, let's make a nice little polyline here. Let's draw a line. The line, okay, it's just being creative for me because I forgot to actually draw it where I want it to be. Move that up there. Let's see, I gotta get around this box thing here. I want to say this one's connected to that one, so we're going to put a little arrow here. When you're moving across the, thing, you got to move this direction, blah, 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 or whatever. You can also do that by connecting two of the dots. So I can take this, click here, make a solid connection, which is what I did with my other neck diagrams to show slides. And that's kind of, I like that you can change the thickness. I don't think you can do that before. But if I put that on 3, oops, wrong thing. Let's put that back on 2. Yeah. It's that I want to change the thickness of. Hopefully I can do it. Okay, good. I can change the thickness of this now. Okay, that just does it by that interval. So let's change that to 3. Stupid thing. 3. Good. It makes that bigger. I can go to 4, 5, whatever. Okay. Delete it. I can delete these. I can, make the line straight again, like it said, by moving. There it goes. It locked into place. And there it locked into place. And now I can actually move the thing around by not clicking a little spot. That is so amazing. I'm trying to think of anything else. This program is amazingly simple to use. I really, really enjoy the features of this, and now that I bought this new one, I'm definitely going to create more versions of guitar chords and, diagrams and things like that. There's plenty of things I haven't covered in this, but it's getting longer and longer. It's a 2-hour video now, pretty much. So this is, like I said, you can organize layers. You have layer options up here if you want something to appear on top of or behind things. And just out of curiosity, let me see what kind of sound I have once I click the play button here. It's not going to recognize it as a chord, that's for sure. But let me be quiet, and then I'll click the play button. We'll see what happens. Like I said, you can organize layers. You have layer options up here if you want something to appear on top of or behind things. And just out of curiosity, let me see what kind of sound I have once I click the play button here. It's not going to recognize it as a chord, that's for sure. Like I said, you can organize layers. You have layer options up here if you want something to appear on top of or behind. Okay, for some reason it's and just out of it's repeating some of that over, but you heard it. It was going in order of the notes, so it's bum 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 bum, all that kind of stuff. So that's what's happening there, and the chord would just sound like horrendous. I'm curious, what would the chord sound like? chord feature's not working that well, so I'm just going to kind of ignore that for now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, you can do a scale generator. I can completely rearrange the notes on this. Let's say I wanted to make a full G major pentatonic, minor pentatonic. So I could go over here and look at all these different scales I can make. I can even make arpeggios. I can tell it the intervals I want. I can use a custom map. There's a little help menu here if you need it. So I'll just type in pentatonics. Major, let's see, we're on the minor. Let's do minor pentatonic. Ooh, I like suspended pentatonic. That's cool. And it gives you the intervals here. You go to next. You tell it between frets 1 and 13. I'm just going to say 12 because that's where we're at. You can tell 3 notes per string if you want to. You can tell the cage shape. That's really cool. This is in G already. It recognizes as G. Okay, so I need G minor pentatonic because we already selected G minor. The marker type can be square, triangle, diamond, and hollow if you want it. Now I'm going to remove the existing fret markers. I can adjust the fretboard area so that all the notes show if I need to. If that was a higher fret number, then I would do that. Otherwise, it would cut those off. I can allow open strings, which I don't want to do because I want this to be closed for now. And I can set the title of the fretboard, okay, to G minor pentatonic. And I've already had a title, so I don't want to set the title. From frets 1 to 12, that's what it's showing. So I'll click finish, and guess what happens? The generator automatically populates it with brand new overridden notes. And this is not available in standard version. It's available in pro and publisher version, the packages I talked about earlier. This is going to take a second, and it's going to populate that with those scales. And the cool thing is, when I tell it to play as an arpeggio, it will play each note. Well, here's the catcher there. It's going to play each note on the string, and then the next string, and then the next string. So it would be cool if it would recognize these as divisions, but it's not going to do that. So now I have a G minor pentatonic scale all the way up. And if I wanted to, I could add these other notes here, there, and there, and it would show those for me. Okay? So neck diagrams is amazing. Once again, you can check it out at at ericbeatty.com/neck diagrams. That's the link that I've connected to my website, so it's a lot easier for me to show to people. But yeah, all kinds of cool things that you can do with. Like I said, I've created numerous courses from this. I'm not going to save any of this. I can easily redo it if I want to. The new document, I've created my bluegrass guitar arpeggios course from these neck diagrams. That's a new document. Don't save because I think that was a template. Okay, these are all neck diagrams related. The Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios course, the new one that just came out. Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. Okay, I can go here to neck diagrams backups, Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, all folders. All of those were created. Okay. Now notice, I just noticed something. I'll show you here in a second. All these were created with bluegrass or with neck diagrams. Now here's something I was telling you about earlier. This is the only file that's not recognized for some reason. It may be an image, it may be something else, but it cannot be loaded. I've already asked the neck diagrams people about what to do about this, and they're looking into it, and that's another bug they can add to their list of any of them that's causing people problems. Okay, so I was going to show you, notice that these are individual pages. Now I can group these together if I wanted to. I can take and drag them on top of each other. I can take and select them, do the file, merge documents thing. But if you'll notice the multi-page documents, if I go back to all folders here, here's the hierarchy. Multi-page documents, the icon is kind of a spiral bound and a page flip. So if it's multi-pages, it will show you that and give you instant feedback on what that is. It's really cool. But I've created those course diagrams. This was before, this was after I created Texas Blues Guitar, the neck diagrams software. I don't know if it was created then already or if I didn't know about it and created my own. I had to create all of them from scratch using Corel Draw. Drawing the boxes, drawing the frets, drawing the markers, drawing everything. And it was really painstaking. But now with this, it's never been easier to make neck diagrams. It's just not possible. Okay. They give you a bunch of example diagrams. If you look at those, if I double click it, it automatically opens it, and here's the ones that come with it to show you exactly how to use it. And they have a README document, which I assume they may update later because this is for version 1. A lot of the same stuff kind of applies, but this is for version 1. Let's go over here. Dwayne Allman OpenE. So a lot of these cool, Dad Good, Dad Gad. That's pretty cool. The Lydian mode study, things like that. And you can get an example. You can actually look at these and get some ideas of how to start your own diagrams. Okay, so that's 2 full courses here and here. And then the other multiple diagrams that I've used for my own personal arpeggios, other bluegrass diagrams, the cage method stuff, chords, basic beginner chords. Here's all the chords I created for basically all of my guitar students. Mandolin chords that I had to create for, I think, one of my buddies that played mandolin. Relative tuning methods, scales and modes that I've done that shows you how many documents are in each one of those. So I've got 9 different scales and modes study that I've created just for myself for practice. It's really good to practice as well. Paul Gilbert swore by using diagram paper, and he would write scales and all kinds of arpeggios and everything to memorize, and that's how he got part of the way he got as good as he did. He would study those. You can create your own using technology with this and be able to print it out, export it, share it with other people. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do with this. Here's some student files that I've created, and then the worksheets that I've created for some other things. Okay, so I may have to create an old diagrams thing so I don't have to go back to these a lot, but that is it. Basically, that is the whole neck diagrams suite of what is possible in neck diagrams if you use the publisher edition. Now, like I said, there's 3 editions available. There's standard, pro, and publisher. And the one I opted for was the publisher because there's all the options available that I would ever need for anything. And they're really on top of things right now. They are working on any of the bugs or any of the problems that you have. So definitely give them a try. It's absolutely working now. There's no really issues at all that I can, that are deal breakers or anything like that. It's basically fully functional, okay, except for the few little notes here that I have written down, like the hollow notes and octave numbers and things like that. I'm going to email them that. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this live stream. I can't believe it. It's 9 o'clock here, Central Time, in Tennessee. And this has been a 2-hour live stream. But I'm excited to be able to do a live stream for you guys again. I'm going to say please check out, once again, bluegrassguitaressentials.com and put a backslash on the end of that, arpeggios. And you should see that pop on the screen. You can get the download version for just a little bit longer. I've got to temporarily disable that so that I'm kind of porting everything over to a new location and on my website with a new provider. So I'll be able to stream and download from my site. I've already got one course up for that. If you can actually check out ericbeatty.com/courses. There's the different links that I haven't even populated that. But anyway, if you go to ericbeatty.com/courses, you should be able to see the course that I have available right now, which is Texas Blues Guitar. I completely repopulated Texas Blues Guitar on my website as a streaming platform now. It's not available anywhere else in this format. Not on Udemy, not on Creative Live, not anywhere else. But that's ericbeatty.com/courses, and you should be able to see that. You'll have to sign up for an account, purchase the course, and you'll be able to access it just like you would any other streaming platform, and you'll be able to download it as well. Really happy about that. And that's at ericbeatty.com/courses. The last thing I just wanted to mention, guys, is the direction of this YouTube channel. For years, I have been focused on teaching and instructional materials and things like that. And what I really want to do this year, more than anything, for one, is get better at my own creative abilities, especially where music is concerned. I've been taking an online guitar course that is just absolutely amazing. Really learning a lot of good stuff for that. I will have to fill you guys in on that when I'm completed it, or when I'm through it enough to kind of fill you in a little bit more. I absolutely, really highly recommend it. But I want to get better at my own guitar playing, and I want to be able to do more performance-based videos. So music videos of me playing my songs that I've written. I'm already almost done with one that I've been working on for months now. And also, I'm still wanting to do my recordings and album stuff. I'm just thinking of it as singles right now, not actually as an album, but as singles of my bluegrass stuff that I've done for years. And I'd like to do like music videos behind those, make tab packages out of those, make the downloads available, different things like that. And speaking of tab packages, you can see those at bluegrassguitarcentrals.com/tabs. That's probably where I'll host a lot of my tabs for those singles that I release. And I'd like to do music videos, just performance stuff, not, okay, here's how you do this and here's how you do that. That'll be for maybe the product package or something. But I'm going to focus more on performances and save a lot of the instruction things for courses where I can actually put more time into it, more dedication into it, create tabs. People have been asking about tabs forever, so I've been making these tab packages that are selling really well. People really seem to enjoy them. I want to keep doing that for you. But as far as YouTube, I want to focus on maybe live streaming like this, just kind of interacting, doing some screencasts, which I love doing screencasts. I love doing, I've actually done screencasts of me creating tabs, and now that I have neck diagrams, this new version, I'm going to be really excited about creating chord diagrams if I need to live on a live stream. So I haven't been on Twitch that much, but I kind of really want to do YouTube stuff, more performance-based. I've noticed that some of my favorite players really do a lot of performances, and that's what gets their numbers up there on YouTube. And I want to be able to see more people interacting on YouTube. Like I said, I've got 14,000+ subscribers, and only the biggest number of people watching tonight has been 5. And whenever I create a new video, the biggest number I usually have is 300, and it averages more like 100, 150. What's up with that? Where are the other subscribers at? I don't understand, don't know. And frankly, I just want to move forward with what I want to do. With as little subscribers as I have, then that tells me I don't have much of an area to focus on, because nothing's really taking, nothing's really launching. And so I want to direct that this year, and that I can see that I want to direct that in the direction that I want to go, which is performance, which is getting better at my craft on guitar, excuse me, and performing for you guys, and sharing the creativity, the creative process of that. For that reason, this channel is no longer called the Guitarpreneur page. It is called Eric Beatty Creations, because I'll be creating music, I'll be creating writing, I'll be creating screencasts, software, gear demos, all these things that I'm passionate about and excited about. And I want to get back in being passionate about these things, not it becoming a chore. And for me, lately, lessons have become a chore, because that's all I do all day long is teach lessons to private lessons to kids. And when I get home, I don't want to do that and repeat that. I've got so many other lessons on YouTube that it's time to move forward. And that's the channel, that's the direction this channel is going to be going. I hope you guys who are the core followers of this channel will continue following me. And that's what's going to make me want to create more videos. You've noticed probably lately that I've done a lot of videos of past performances with the Gilbert family. And that's not what I'm talking about. Those are basically placeholders while I've tried to get my stuff together and figure out what I wanted to do with this channel. What I want to do with this channel is my own music, playing and getting better at, and just, maybe a snippet here and there of some ideas that I have, maybe on the YouTube stories, or just a 2-minute video upload or something. Oh, here's something I've been working on, guys. Blah, something like that. If you want tabs, let me know. I'll create a tab package. Good, we're good to go. So that's it. Enough of me rambling. Thanks so much for watching tonight, guys. Please check out ericbeatty.com/neckdiagrams and ericbeatty.com/courses. And you've seen all the rest of the links. Everything that you need to know is down in the description below. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video, whatever that may be. Talk to you later, guys. God bless.